Alrighty. We're getting on into the next to last Jeopardy segment of Daniel's birthday special. And this time around, we picked the PS3 version. Hope you all just caught the Xbox 360 version. We just won Daniel $200,000. Alright, what's going to happen in the PS3 version of Jeopardy? We're about to find out in just a bit.
This is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Brevet.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories. L.A. Story, The New Testament, Stars and Their Roles, F-Stop, Presidential Campaigns, and Birds. All right, well, perhaps this thrush, a type of babbler, hangs out at comedy clubs with the same name hyena. Player 1? Good. Player 1, listen, you white-bellied bustard. I know where you live. This continent's Savannah. It's Player 1. Correct. This common long-legged wading bird gets its name from a prop used by circus performers. Player 1?
Yeah!
Musical name of Cygnus buccinator. Okay, Player 1? Yes. So this bird of the family Gruidae can be distinguished from the heron by the bustle of feathers over its rump. Let's hear it, Player 1. Yes. You get to pick again, Player 1. Proverbially, sometimes you can't see it for the trees. It's Player 1. You got it. These raised bars on the neck of a guitar help make the sounds of different notes. Yes, Player 1? Good for you. The name of this Spanish dance form is Spanish for a type of pink bird. Player 1? Yes. So one of the principal offensive players on a soccer or hockey team. Yes, Player 1? No. Any other takers? Here's what we wanted. Forward. Player 1, you pick to apply nitrogen to the soil to aid plant growth. Let's hear it, player one. Good. Please pick again, player one. Sam the Eagle was created by the Disney Company for this event held in Los Angeles in 1984. Yes, player one. Player Microphones, one. TV sets, masks, phonographs, and movie cameras symbolize stars' specialties on its Walk of Fame. Yes, player one. This school is the oldest private university in California and the largest private employer in Los Angeles. It's player one. That's correct. An observatory and a park in Los Angeles are named not for a birth of a nation director, but rather a colonel with this surname. Let's hear it, player one. Good. Player one. Docents at LA's Page Museum are in a sticky situation. La Brea means this substance in Spanish. Okay, player one. Good. Player one. Jesus grew up in this town in the southern part of Galilee. Let's hear it, player one. That is correct. Player one. Luke, this angel told Zacharias that his wife Elizabeth would bear a son, and thou shalt call him John. Player one. Yes. Please, the book of John records him as saying, "Except I shall see in his hands the print of the nails, I will not believe." Player one. That's correct. Player one. Jesus was referring to this fisherman when he said, "Upon this rock I will build my church." Yes, player one. Yes. Player one. Answer. It's the Daily Double. You are in for it. All right, here's your clue. On the road to Damascus, this future epistle writer was asked by Jesus, "Why persecutest thou me?"
Yeah.
Player one. Back the campaign slogan in 1964 said, "All the way with these three letters." Let's hear it, player one. I pledge you, I pledge myself to a new deal for the American people, he said in accepting his 1932 nomination. It's player one. Good. Player the 1976 ticket of Jimmy Carter and this running mate was dubbed Tricks and Grits. Player one. Good. In 1916, he campaigned under the slogan, "He kept us out of war." Let's hear it, player one. The Whigs used a log cabin as a symbol in his 1840 campaign. Okay, player one. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? We're talking about William Henry Harrison.
Oh, okay.
Please pick. She was magazine editor Miranda Priestley, who fiendishly wore Prada. Yes, player one? No. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? The correct response is Meryl Streep. Player 1. He was Julian Kay, an American gigolo. Let's hear it, Player 1. That's correct. In 2005, this actor walked the line as Johnny Cash. Yes, Player 1. Player 1 was Charlie Chaplin in a 1992 biopic. Okay, Player 1. Yep. And here's the $1,000 clue. He was Heathcliff to Merle Oberon's Kathy in 1939's Wuthering Heights. Okay, Player 1.
$22,400 at the end of the Jeopardy round. How about that?
Player 2, you're going first with Double Jeopardy. We'll start that round right after this break. Clues are worth $400 to $2,000 in these categories. Math terms. Football. Colleges and universities. The Bible. Notice the quotation marks on the B. Saints. And vocabulary. All right, let's get back into this. Player 2 has the 735-acre campus of this Baptist school is on the banks of the Brazos River in Waco, Texas. Okay, Player 1. Yeah! Player 1 of the most popular organizations at this state university in Louisiana is the Tiger Marching Band, founded in 1926. Okay, Player 1. That's incorrect. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? It's Player 2. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Player 3? That is correct. Player 3, start us. Her first husband was the Hittite Uriah. David was second. Yes, Player 1? Right. Of the chief god of the Canaanites. Let's hear it, Player 1. The youngest son of Jacob and Rachel. Okay, Player 1. Correct. He traveled with Paul to spread Jesus' teachings until they disagreed and separated. It's Player 1. Sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? We're talking about Barnabas. Player 1. It's at his feast that Daniel interprets the writing on the wall. Player 1. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Yes, Player 3. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? It's Player 2. Hey, you're right. Good. Back on the plus side. Player 2, where do we start? This cup representing Canadian football supremacy was donated by the descendant of a tea namesake. It's Player 1. Any other takers? Here's the correct response. The Grey Cup. Player 2, you pick again, please. He caught the catch. on January 10th, 1982. Okay, player one. No. Any other takers? Here's the correct response. Dwight Clark. Player two, back to you for our next selection. This Cowboys wide receiver of the 1990s is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Let's hear it, player one. Okay, let's go over to Jimmy.
In this type of trick play, the quarterback hands off to a running back, who hands off to a tight end, going in the opposite direction.
It's player one. Good. We answer the first of the daily doubles. And you're in the lead now. How much? And the clue. To see this NFL team's home games at FedEx Field, take a shuttle bus from the Landover Metro stop. You have maintained your lead. Way to go. You again, player one. This college was intended to be the first college within the University of Dublin, but it's still the only one. Yes, player one. We were to Charles, not Sonny, was the benefactor of this Medford, Massachusetts University. Okay, player one. You got it. Player Beloit College in this state was founded in 1846, while that state was still a territory. Player one. That's incorrect. Any other takers? It's player two. Any other takers? Let's hear it, player three. And you're back into some money. Okay, let's get back into this. Player three, you make the next selection as we... St. John Oud promoted devotion to this sacred body part, not just of Jesus, but of Mary, too. It's player one. No. Anyone else? Yes, player three. You got it. You again, player three. St. Simeon Stylites resided for decades on one of these, 60 feet tall, from the French for support. Okay, player one. Yeah. Player one. Saint Columba of this country was martyred in 853 after telling some Moors that Muhammad was a false prophet. It's player one. No, sorry. Any other takers? Here's what we wanted. Spain. The order founded by this saint in Toulouse was zealous in carrying out the Inquisition. Okay, player one. The Pope struck a medal to celebrate the 1572 massacre of Huguenots on this saint's day. Yes, player one? Sorry. Anyone else? We're talking about St. Bartholomew. Select again. With a name meaning many angles, these shapes may or may not be convex. It's player one. So, here's Sarah. She'll show you.
Two or more circles that have the same center point are said to be this, from the Latin for together center.
Yes, player one. Sorry, that's not. Any other takers? Yes, player three. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Player two. You're out of the hole. Player two, make a selection, please, as we continue. Of praise, increase, or mock. What you do to something, you augment. Yes, player one. That is correct. Player body of songs a chanteuse is prepared to sing, or of plays a company is prepared to put on. Yes, player one. That is correct. That's it. You are the daily double. You are in first and blue. This word for a type of treaty is from the French for agreement. That puts you even further ahead. Player one. Noun for a person who's sorry and is ritually showing his sorrow under the guidance of a confessor. Okay, player one. Good for you. Player this one. Adjective for a terrifying experience comes from a toothed farm implement used on plowed ground. Okay, player one. That's correct. You get to pick a pair of angles that add together to make a straight line are called this type of angle. It's player one. Nope. Sorry. Anyone else?
No.
Here's what we wanted. Supplementary. Player one. From the Greek for worthy, this kind of statement is also called a postulate. Okay, player one. No, that's not right. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? We're talking about an axiom. And the last clue for $2,000. From the Latin for across, it's the property that says that if A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. Let's hear it, player one. Anyone else? Player three? Sorry.
You have failed.
Any other takers?
Miserably!
Let's hear it, player two. That's correct. Sorry, player three. Looks like you will not be continuing on to Final Jeopardy. We're back. The category for Final Jeopardy today is musical history. Here you are, players, for Final Jeopardy 2. It's the nursery rhyme that inspired the title of a famous musical based on a 1913 George Bernard Shaw work. What did you say? And that correct response was bad. Did you come up with the correct response?
I did.
And that correct
So I won Daniel $50,000 this segment, which is not terrible.
Congratulations,
Great amount of money.
everyone. You're the winner.
But we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for this segment, and I will see you all for that next one.
Good game. Thank you so much for playing.